camera?
Oh, yeah.
Worst experience having busking. I had some little kids. They were ranging from about 9 to 15, in front of me, about this far away from my grill, like while I was singing, throwing that hat into my busking, like into my gig bag, and then picking that hat up with both hands so they took the money. And I was just like, I usually just like play. I don't expect to earn anything. I'd say the motivation would be like audience response and retention to an extent, just keeping them in, and like. Especially coming to Lincoln, I know quite a few people here. When I'm here, I have friends that come, so it makes it easy to wake up in the morning. I think at least once every time I've come out, people ask me to do an event or something, usually a charity event, or one time there's a club having an acoustic night, they asked me to play.
Yeah, positives of open mic nights, getting some practice in front of audiences. There are very few other situations where you can do that unless you play in front of your family, and I find that's one of the scarier things to do. Getting people to hear your music, getting compliments from people, that's really morale boosting, and the more boosts to your morale and your confidence you have, the better you're going to perform through your career. Negatives are you're not going to make a living from open mic nights. They put the title open mic on it for a reason, and you turn up and you play. You're not guaranteed payment. The next step after open mic nights is getting your name about. Facebook is a massive driving factor in this, getting likes on Facebook, getting your music out there.
I think the trick to a good YouTube video is passion for what you're doing. So if you're enjoying what you're doing or what you're making and putting out, then it's going to be a good video. And I also think just quality is usually part of having a good video. If you have better quality, then it's going to be a better looking video and a more appealing video. So the video as a whole will be brought up by the quality of it. I think the main problem of trying to get noticed on YouTube is probably just the fact that it's so big and there are so many videos being uploaded every second. So I think it's just the amount of stuff there is on YouTube that really hinders smaller people.
Money does equate to success in proportions you could not imagine. So yeah, money does. If I had a lot of money, then I would be spending it on promotion on social media. And which would expand me even more. So
there is a living to be made, but it's not in open mic nights. It's in owning your craft, trying to get something a little bit different, and getting that fan base. For example, Elliot Morris, great musician, and he makes his living doing this. And I played a gig with him in Lincoln, and then the next day he was in Glasgow. The day after that he was in Belfast, and the day after that he was in Birmingham.
I think it's something like, I think it's like every 100 views would be like 12p or something like that. it's not crazy amounts, but it also changes. So to earn a viable income, I think you'd have to be getting thousands and thousands, even millions of clicks constantly to keep up that income.
My concerns are that my music is very much lyrically based, and very, very few, if any, of my songs have some sort of breakdown in the middle of them where you can get your rocks off in a club. The market is becoming more and more what you can do with the synthesizer and get people to dance who don't really necessarily care about the lyrics.
Illegal downloading. I could talk for days on that.
I've had to rethink my stance on this a little bit. I used to be really against it, and then for a little while I was really for it because I had no money, and I had to rethink it again.
It isn't a good thing. It's illegal and it's downloading someone's music which they've spent a lot of time doing, but it's something that is inevitable and you can't really stop it.
I really don't mind people illegally downloading it. Like, we all do it. I do it. Like, I don't mind admitting that. I think, with a show of hands, I think about 90+% of people do illegally download music, and no, you can't really stop it. You can't put a cap on it. That's made me want to release my first EP for free, even though like paying quite a lot of money to go in the studio and do it.
Does illegal downloading help the sales of other CDs of the artist? Possibly, but I don't know. I'd be kind of flattered if people were illegally downloading my music, because it means that they really, really want my music.
I think that if it was about money or fame, then you're bound to have what's the point moments.
I always get a sense of what's the point, but at the same time I always have this voice in the back of my head saying this is the point.
So yeah, absolutely, when gigs are empty, you do start to feel like, why am I even bothering to do this? But you have to take some of the hits sometimes in order to get the better gigs.
I think every failure can be turned into some sort of success.
I wouldn't say that failure is a bad thing. I would say the complete opposite, because, I mean, it sounds horribly cliche, but you can't learn from things unless you have mistakes or you mess up.
But when people sort of say that your music is off a little bit or whatever, not at all. You go back to the drawing board and you start again and do what you're happy with.
Just little things, I think. Like writing songs, and then you look at it and think that's rubbish, but you can take parts of it and use it for different things.
Making music is never, I have a song idea, I'm going to write a song, I'm going to record a song, that went perfectly one take, here it is. I mean, the amount of YouTube videos I've put up where I've taken in excess of like 10 takes, because I'll do something in each one that I will hate, that I've messed up and that I've failed at. And the only way that I've got something that I feel I'm completely proud of is by messing up.
What I dream of doing in 5 years' time? What I'm doing now, to be honest, but like bigger. Like, I'd rather not have to go on the streets and play music to people. I do enjoy it, but I'd rather go into like a warm arena.
I mean, the ideal situation would be similar to the Elliot Morris situation that I mentioned earlier, making a living off driving around the country, seeing different places, gigging for new people every night, and not feeling like you're playing the same venues every single week and feeling in yourself that you're boring people.
I think what I'd like to be doing in 5 years' time is more music stuff. I'd just like to have a growing fan base, an album out, some more EPs, get some money off that, put it into a studio, release an album.
That I think is the dream.
That's the dream right there.
Realistically, with the way that everything is sort of going in the music industry now, having a gig, or let's say like 3 or 4 gigs a week on top of, I'd have to have a job, a full-time job, but having 3 or 4 gigs a week to get music out there, that would be great in 5 years. I would settle for that.
Realistically, I don't know. I'm not the sort of guy for a plan. I'd probably say what I dream of doing in 5 years will be happening. Maybe not as big, maybe bigger.
Realistically, I think I will have an album, because I feel that I could just do it in my room if I wanted to. but I don't know, a job that's not in music, probably. Hopefully doing music, definitely will be doing music no matter what, but realistically, I don't know.